His roly-poliness, Donald Trump, never eats Chinese food, but the Chinese just ate him for breakfast. Trump blinked and they ate his lunch too. The New York Times is reporting today that China has once again outmaneuvered Orange Mussolini in what is an all too familiar pattern to Trump's leadership, or lack thereof. Trump, best known for the fart of a deal, always engages in this pattern, and the same holds true for what just happened with China. First, he makes a stupid decision. Sometimes it's utterly inane, sometimes it's crazy, but it all boils down to stupid. And as they say down south, you can't fix stupid. There were only two people in this entire country who thought tariffs were a good idea: Trump and Peter Navarro. Both stupid. Navarro is so stupid he had to create fictional scholars to source his idiotic theories on tariffs. Second, something really bad happens as a result of the stupid decision. With tariffs, Trump tanked the entire world economy and made trillions of dollars disappear overnight with stupid Liberation Day, in which he imposed tariffs on the entire world, even penguins. See, you're remembering the stupid part now, aren't you? Third, Trump convinces his followers, via his media echo chamber, that the problem is now solved. First, Trump sent out the village idiot Howard Lutnick to tell us all how jobs were coming back to the U.S.
This is the new model where you work in these kind of plants for the rest of your life, and your kids work here and your grandkids work here.
Exactly. So all those factories that you're bringing in because of your trade policy, we're going to train people in trade craft, bring back trade craft to America so that people can work in these factories with great paying jobs.
Then he had Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent just go out and lie about the impact of tariffs.
Prices will go up for Americans in the short term, right?
They could. They don't have to.
And that's if they don't have to, you're arguing if businesses do not pass those on to those consumers.
Well, in the President Trump's first administration, prices didn't go up, so the businesses don't have to pass them on, or the producers in the other countries can eat the tariffs, and traditionally the dollar adjusts. So it's a very complicated calculus to see where we end up.
When none of that worked, Trump was saying, tariffs are going to allow us to eliminate your income taxes. But somewhere around the time when he was implementing 145% tariffs on China, the solution to the problem was $2 per girl child. Boys were to stop playing with dolls entirely, up to and including G.I. Joe with Kung Fu grip. See, problem solved. And then the last step. Trump reverses the stupid decision that caused all the chaos to begin with. And that, ladies and germs, is exactly what happened with Trump's tariffs on China. The New York Times is reporting this morning that the U.S. and China agreed to temporarily slash tariffs in a bid to defuse the trade war. As the Times explains, the countries said they would suspend their respective tariffs for 90 days and continue negotiations they started this weekend. Under the agreement, the United States would reduce the tariff on Chinese imports to 30% from its current 145%, while China would lower its import duty on American goods to 10% from 125%. So the problem that Trump created all by himself has been solved by Trump reversing his stupid decision to begin with. But at what cost? Anyone who remembers how this trade deal unfolded, it started with Trump repeatedly saying that they were negotiating with China, and China coming back and saying, no, we're not negotiating with anyone. Trump himself would try and call and was repeatedly put on hold. But if humiliating Trump was the only cost we were going to pay, then I'd be laughing all the way to the bank. But there are huge costs associated with Trump's big blunder. The U.S. blinked and taught China that we don't have the capacity for a standoff. China's factory orders were indeed plummeting because of Trump's tariffs, but we're still the ones who came begging. And there's a reason we came begging. Our ports and our docks are empty, and that has a trickle-down effect. We are about to go through supply chain shortages that will look just like COVID. And for certain, this is going to cause unemployment and recession. And any hope that things will just go back to normal are decidedly misplaced. A 30% tariff is still going to cause enormous inflationary pressure. The Yale Budget Lab forecasted that a 20% rate would cost the average family $1,600 to $2,000 a year. Not only that, but Trump's tariffs caused GDP in 2025 to lose 0.6%. Now, while that doesn't sound like much, in the long run, the US economy is persistently 0.3 to 0.4% smaller, the equivalent of $80 to $110 billion annually. How bad is Trump's solution to Trump's created problem? Here's Scott Bessent struggling to say something positive.
Details, the devil's always in the details, get worked out over the next 90 days. And what aspects do you think will be relatively easy, and what will present the biggest obstacles?
Well, look, Joe, I don't think anything's going to be easy because this has been going on a long time. But what I can tell you, President Trump in his first term realized a very effective trade deal that was signed in the Oval Office in January 2020. And the Chinese delegation basically messaged to us that the Biden administration failed to hold them accountable for it.
Seriously? Blame Biden? Why do I feel like if there were a third Trump term, he'd still be blaming Biden? Matt McDermott had a far more accurate summary of the deal. Who is Matt McDermott? I have no idea, but he's still more insightful on this than the Treasury Secretary. McDermott posted, "For those confused by the China tariff news, Trump caved and got zero in return. No manufacturing moved back to the U.S. 30% tariff is still a huge tax on Americans. 90-day pause still causes uncertainty in the marketplace, and Trump lost all negotiating leverage." Welcome to the golden age, people. I don't know about you, but yes, I am certainly tired of all the winning. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.